It's been over a decade since Pacific Rim first hit theaters, and it's kind of amazing how the excitement for that world of towering Jaegers and rampaging Kaiju has never really faded. Now, 12 years later, the franchise is gearing up to expand again with a brand new sequel project that's already getting fans buzzing. What's even more exciting is that new rumors are swirling suggesting Pacific Rim 3 might actually be on the horizon, and this time it feels like the pieces are finally falling into place for the story to continue in a big way. After Pacific Rim Uprising arrived in 2018, fans were left wondering if the franchise had reached its end. But that clearly isn't the case. Legendary Comics has officially confirmed that they're bringing the saga back to life with Pacific Rim Final Breach, a 3-part graphic novel series written by Joshua Fialkov and illustrated by E.J. Su. It's being described as the next major chapter in the story, a continuation that promises to deliver the kind of scale and emotional depth that made the original movie so beloved. The first volume is already open for pre-orders through Kickstarter, and the response has been incredibly positive, showing that the Pacific Rim community is still very much alive and ready for more. What's most exciting about Final Breach is its premise. The story picks up with humanity facing an all-new and far more dangerous threat. The Precursors, the mysterious alien race that created the Kaiju, launch a massive new wave of attacks on Earth, forcing the surviving heroes of the Pan-Pacific Defense Corps to step up once again. Jake Pentecost and Herman Gottlieb, two key characters from the films, devise a daring plan that takes them straight into the Antiverse, the strange dimension where the Kaiju originate. But to succeed, they'll need help from a legend, Raleigh Becket, the original Jaeger pilot who saved humanity years ago. According to the synopsis, Raleigh has been living off the grid, trying to escape the trauma of the past. But when he's called upon to pilot a brand new Jaeger, the Gypsy Destroyer, he has to face his demons and lead a new generation of fighters into the heart of the Kaiju world. It's an idea that feels both nostalgic and fresh. It builds on what came before while setting up something much bigger. And if the title Final Breach means what it sounds like, this could be the story that finally closes the loop on humanity's war against the Kaiju once and for all. The first volume of Final Breach is expected to release in October 2025, followed by the next 2 volumes in fall 2026 and 2027. That schedule gives fans plenty to look forward to, and it's already shaping up to be the kind of epic, long-form story that the franchise has been missing. It's not just a random side story either. This new trilogy is being positioned as a direct continuation of the 2 films, meaning it's officially part of the Pacific Rim canon. Of course, this isn't the first time Pacific Rim has expanded beyond the big screen. Over the years, Legendary Comics has released several graphic novels that fill in different parts of the timeline. Tales from Year Zero explored the early days of the Kaiju War and was even created with Guillermo del Toro's input back in 2013. Then came Tales from the Drift, which was set during the first movie, and Aftermath, which bridged the gap between the 2 films. So, Final Breach feels like the natural next step, a story that ties all of these threads together and moves the world of Pacific Rim forward in a meaningful way. What's even better is that this new story brings back the character fans have missed the most, Raleigh Becket. When Pacific Rim Uprising came out, a lot of viewers were disappointed that Charlie Hunnam didn't return. His absence left a noticeable gap because Raleigh had been the emotional heart of the original film. Luckily, in a graphic novel, there's no such issues as scheduling conflicts or budget. So, Raleigh is finally back, and fans will get to see him take on a leadership role once again, something that could easily set the stage for a proper live-action comeback in the future. That return is especially exciting because Hunnam himself has always been open about his affection for the franchise and for working with Guillermo del Toro. In past interviews, he said that he'd happily return to Pacific Rim if Del Toro invited him, which keeps the door open for the 2 of them to team up again down the line. Their creative partnership has already produced some memorable work, and Pacific Rim 3 would be the perfect project for them to reunite on. The universe of Pacific Rim has proven time and again that it can thrive across multiple formats. From the movies to the anime series Pacific Rim the Black, and now with the upcoming Final Breach trilogy, the franchise keeps evolving in ways that keep it fresh. But all of this also feels like the groundwork for something even bigger, possibly a lead-up to Pacific Rim 3. Fans have been waiting for a proper continuation that ties everything together, and the timing finally feels right. Guillermo del Toro's original film remains one of the most visually imaginative blockbusters of the 2010s. When it premiered in 2013, it didn't just show giant robots fighting monsters. It gave those battles real emotion, driven by themes of unity, sacrifice, and second chances. The film became a global hit, earning around $400 million worldwide, and even though its US numbers were modest, its international success made it clear that audiences everywhere loved the concept. That worldwide passion is what's kept the dream of a third movie alive all these years. Since then, the franchise has grown into a full-blown universe. Between Uprising, The Black, and all the novels and comics, there's now a rich tapestry of stories that could easily fuel a cinematic return. And while there's been no official confirmation yet, the creative activity around Pacific Rim lately, especially with Final Breach, suggests that Legendary hasn't forgotten about it. In fact, rumors that Pacific Rim 3 is quietly in development have started to resurface again, hinting that the new graphic novels could serve as a bridge leading directly to a feature film revival. If that's true, the next movie could be something truly special. The storylines in Final Breach introduce new technology, new kaiju evolutions, and a whole generation of Jaeger pilots who could carry the torch forward. It would make perfect sense for a future Pacific Rim 3 to draw from that material, especially since it brings Raleigh Becket back into the fold and dives deeper into the mysterious Antiverse. And even Guillermo del Toro himself has spoken warmly about the idea of returning to the world he created, at least as a fan. He's mentioned that he'd love to see a crossover between his Jaegers and the titans of the Monsterverse, Godzilla and Kong. Since Legendary Pictures owns both properties, that's a crossover that could actually happen down the line. Imagine seeing a Jaeger teaming up with Godzilla to take down a kaiju invasion that spills into the Monsterverse. It's the kind of event movie that fans have been dreaming about for years. With Final Breach reigniting excitement and giving fans something tangible to look forward to, the buzz around Pacific Rim is stronger than it's been in a long time. The new trilogy's story structure already feels cinematic, and the creative team behind it has a proven track record of handling large-scale sci-fi storytelling. Joshua Fialkov's writing and E.J. Su's artwork are both known for blending human emotion with high-concept spectacle, exactly what a great Pacific Rim story needs. Another encouraging sign is that Pacific Rim continues to have a loyal fan base that's vocal online and supportive of every new addition to the lore. Fan-made trailers, concept art, and even fan fiction keep the enthusiasm alive, showing that people still care deeply about this world. It's that kind of passionate community that often helps convince studios to bring back a beloved franchise. So, even though Pacific Rim 3 hasn't officially been announced yet, everything happening right now feels like momentum building toward that moment. Between the return of Raleigh Becket, the expansion of the lore in Final Breach, and the ongoing success of Legendary's monster-themed projects, the stage is set for a comeback. The future of Pacific Rim looks brighter than it has in years. The graphic novels will not only give fans the continuation they've been craving, but also set up new storylines that could seamlessly transition into a third movie. And if that happens, it would be the perfect way to bring Guillermo del Toro's original vision full circle, uniting the old heroes with a new generation of pilots, facing a final world-ending threat, and maybe even opening the door to that long-dreamed crossover with Godzilla and Kong. So, it's safe to say that the Jaegers aren't done fighting yet. Pacific Rim is gearing up for another big moment, one that could finally deliver the sequel the first film deserves. Whether it happens first on the page or on the big screen, it's clear that the apocalypse isn't cancelled, it's just getting started again. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.